All right, Kovalev, Alvarez, maybe a reaction video. I got a lot of updates for you guys, some good information, but I'm completely shocked by what I saw. It's like, it's crazy. But first, this is a little message from Kovalev after the knockout. Of course, taken to the hospital and getting his head checked and things like that. Ran into that right hand and. But I'll let you listen to that, and then we're going to talk about the details.
Hi, my boxing fans. Thank you for your support, and I'm sorry and apologize for this situation that I got a punch from Alvarez. I'm okay right now in the hospital, just checking my health, my head, and I'm feeling good. Just missed one punch and couldn't continue the fight. I don't know what happened, but I'm tired. Probably I'm tired because it was a long training camp, 3 months, and again apologize and thanks for your support. Everything good with me, just checking my health and head and go home to my family. I missed for them. I love you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, there you go. That's enough. You heard it. All right, he's at the hospital. Everything checked out. I'm glad he's okay. In boxing, I never want to see anyone get hurt, especially when there's a knockout like that. But look, a few things I want to talk about just randomly. Number one, not in any particular order, Max Kellerman, okay? Why is it this dude brought up Andre Ward? I counted throughout the entire HBO broadcast from beginning to end. He brought up Andre Ward 7 times, okay? Look, it's a night for Kovalev and Alvarez, okay? It's their night, okay? Andre Ward is nowhere in sight. He's not in the ring. He's not... Well, it's like, it was crazy to me. Kellerman probably chimed in, who knows, maybe 17, 18 times, and literally 40% of his chime in was about Andre Ward, talking about, since, Kovalev lost to the pound for pound, king Andre Ward. It was like the man crush is real, okay? Even Jim Lampley, to my shock, okay, to my disbelief, Jim Lampley, he would kind of intervene and intercept and say, we're here to see Kovalev or something to that effect. Like, he even tried to shut Kellerman down a couple of times, and so. I'm glad. Because I'm not a big fan of either guy as of late. So, but one thing I wanted to point that out. Okay, number one, number two. Now there is a rematch clause. Okay, I don't know. I hear a lot of people talking about Kovalev is done. He's finished. That was the end. But it's not. Look at Pacquiao. What was it? 2012, knocked out. Just boom, face plant right in the canvas. Came back to do what he did. Okay, look. Here's the thing. It's boxing. They talk about a puncher's chance. Well, here is the definition of a guy, he just had a puncher's chance and he won. Kovalev was boxing great. Just beautiful boxing. He made a few adjustments. In the beginning, he was getting kind of picked apart, kind of touched up and tagged and everything, but then he made an adjustment, came back, and he looked like he was getting comfortable in there. I even saw a few little Muhammad Ali moments, with the head movement and the dipping and he looked good, right? But then he simply ran into a right hand. It can happen to anyone. It's happened to everyone. Speaking of Ali, it's happened to Ali. It's happened to Mayweather. It's happened to Pacquiao. It's happened to Marquez. You pick your fighter. It happens to everyone, right? But in the situation, it dropped him. Now, Kathy Duva, she was like, look, I want him to get to round 7 because there was this black cloud. She talked about how they were worried Kovalev was going to gas out. And he didn't look like he was gassing out. It looked like he ran into a right hand. Now, the rematch clause, let me play it for you. Okay, hang on 1 minute.
There is a rematch clause, so you can probably expect that.
So assuming that Kovalev wants that rematch, and we'll just go ahead and assume that, knowing the guy, when would you think you could put something like that together? Because I know sometimes you guys work out minor details ahead of time, and both fighters say they'll do it. Are we at that place already?
I don't know. I know HBO has a date on December 8th. I don't know if that's too soon. Again, we sent him to the hospital just to be sure he's okay.
Right.
There you go, Kathy Duba talking to Shout Out Radio Raheem, and they're talking about a rematch, okay, and as maybe as soon as December, you know, we could potentially see a rematch because there is a rematch clause. Now, knowing Kovalev, okay, if he's not, you know, I won't say permanently, but severely injured, which I don't think he is. According to him, he checked out fine. There's no concussion, nothing like that. You know, he'll be back, and you have to remember also. By the way, they had a packed house, sold out crowd. Now, Kathy Duba, main event, trying to take boxing, you know, to the East Coast. Okay, and in a way, I think to kind of snub the whole political, you know, scene or crowd or whatever surrounding Andre Ward. But that's for another video, right? But you know, so it kind of, I don't know, it's like a bittersweet thing because I mean, I like what she was trying to do. But this really threw a wrench in the program here. Like, you know, where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? I mean, if I'm Kathy Duva, I'm definitely going to exercise that rematch clause. And I do think Kovalev can beat him in a rematch. I really do. You know, they were talking about Alvarez, his knuckles. He's got like 2 out of 4 knuckles that he can really land a punch with because he hurt his hand, you know, really bad. And, I mean, the dude just landed a lucky punch is what it is. I mean, you know, but I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I mean, I was really impressed by, you know, his will and, you know, he never gave up and he kept trying but the crazy thing is, I texted a friend of mine, you know, about I'd say about 2 rounds before Kovalev got knocked out, and I texted a friend of mine, and I said, look, he's going to get caught. I said, Kovalev is going to get caught because he was getting really comfortable, you know, just barely, you know, dodging them punches and everything, and he got caught. I mean, I could see it coming. Now, on the undercard, okay, Chilemba Bivol, okay, Bivol, okay, and Chilemba, they talked about that too, and they're even talking about, you know, maybe forget about a rematch with Alvarez. They might go right into that Kovalev Bivol fight, which I think is a mistake. I think he should avenge his loss and then go into that. So, you know, but I don't know. I don't think it's the end for Kovalev. It's a terrible night, you know, but right now, basically, if you look at it, you know, on paper, okay, if you look at it on paper, you know, he's got a, you know, I guess somewhat of a comeback after Andre Ward, but he's got 2 losses to Andre Ward. You know, a lot of people will say that, you know, he quit in the second fight, you know, but look, that was low blows. I'm not going to get into it, but I don't know. I mean, is it a fading Kovalev? Is he done? Is there more to offer? I think he looked great. I think he was boxing great, and he got caught. That's my personal opinion, but I do see a little bit of that light leaving, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you can tell, like, every boxer, they have a shelf life, and I see a little bit of it leaving him. I don't think he is what he was. He's still young, yes, but, you know, I don't know. After a knockout like this, it's very hard to come back. Mentally right now, you know, he's got that adrenaline going, and he's like, yeah, I want my rematch, but he's going to go home to his family, think about it, and who knows, this might be the end of Kovalev. So what do you guys think? Leave it below.